Hey guys, Brett here, Director's Mortgage. Thanks for joining today's live. Love putting these together. So today, kind of talking about a few things a little bit different. Wanted to cover deeds and title. So this is part of any mortgage process, and not even necessarily just mortgage, but buying real estate out there. So kind of wanted to go through what are they, why are they important, what things you might want to focus on. So let's start first about deed. So this is kind of the transfer of ownership from party to party. So, as we're doing a purchase transaction or a sale, there's going to be deeds involved. Now, through that, there's a couple of different types. Ultimately, you're going to have a general warranty deed. This is kind of the most protection. This is what you standard see in most transactions. There's going to be specialized versions, a little bit more limited, but they may be for different situations out there. Then you have kind of on a third one, a quitclaim deed. Now, of course, there's multiple other ones, but these are the three we see mostly in the mortgage realm. Now, a quitclaim deed is normally somebody quitting their claim or letting go of it. So, for example, we see this oftentimes in a divorce. Hey, two people own a home. One person's saying, hey, now you keep this. I don't. I will release my interest by signing this quitclaim deed. Now, there's multiple other reasons we would use that, but ultimately the deed is either releasing ownership or transferring ownership, and is a critical part to the transaction for us. Now, within this, it's going to specify seller and buyer information, or if it's like a quitclaim deed, still deemed seller and buyer. There might not be an official sale, but I'm releasing my interest in the property. Now, these are typically always going to have legal notarization on there to say, okay, hey, if somebody's truly selling a property, releasing interest, we got to make sure who signed it. There's legal notarization. So that's part of that process for it. And you're going to have legal prep. This isn't something necessarily we as a company are putting together as a mortgage company. You're going to have title companies or even attorneys involved to help with the preparation of these documents. So that's kind of a little rundown of what the different deeds are. So again, you may hear of quitclaim deed, warranty deed. Those are going to be the main few used in mortgage. Next, title. And kind of in a similar vein here, guys, as we're buying and selling, what is the title to the property? Well, it represents the legal right of ownership or right to use the property for us. So a big part of us from a mortgage company or, again, any sale transaction is there clear title? And essentially what is clear title meaning is, hey, are there liens or judgments against this title? So one of the first things we will do is, have a title company. Now, if it's a refinance, we work with some title companies we know. If it's a purchase, that's specified in a contract, but they're going to do a title search of the property or the parcel. This is going to help to go through and see what things are on there. Oftentimes you'll see stuff of, hey, there's a lien to pay county taxes. That makes sense. There may be special liens or notes on there about HOA requirements. There may be easements against the property. But there could be any other liens. What do you owe lenders? Or what does the underlying person owe lenders? But there can also be filed liens. Unfortunately, anybody can really lien anything. Now, it doesn't always mean it's justified, but it can cloud the title. So there could be a dispute somebody had and their property got liened. We see sometimes people don't pay the IRS and have tax liens against it. Oftentimes we see mechanics liens, somebody either during the build process or maybe had a contractor do a remodel. Contractor felt he didn't get paid. He puts on a lien for redoing the roof. So there can be a lot of different liens out there. And this is not to scare you guys. It's just a good process to go through to say, okay, before you buy a property, and for us as a lender, before we lend on that property as collateral, we want to ensure, hey, what is everything showing on that title report? Certain things are normal, property taxes. Okay, that makes sense. Or HOA requirements. But other things that are unique liens or weird judgments, we're going to want to make sure for our sake and yours, those have been vetted or cleared or taken care of for you prior to closing. So now within the title, that's one part of it. The other part is, how is it vested? Now that might be, hey, sole ownership, just one person's buying it. It may be vested joint ownership. Hey, husband and wife or two parties are buying it. If it's an investment or whatever that may be, joint. There's other ones, tenant in common. There's some with rights of survivorship. So that's something, again, where you have the choice. From our side, always happy to chat through that, but a title officer, obviously an attorney, can go through. Now, typically we see most, couples or husband and wife is just a joint title report or joint vesting is what they choose, but easy to run through the pros and cons. And again, always have experts at hand, title officers and attorneys to kind of talk through those pieces for you. So again, things to consider around this for us on the title. got to have a title search. Now, we require it as a lender, so we're taking care of that for you and we can go through it with you. But if you're buying something without a loan, you definitely want to do that for us. You want to review the deed for accuracy, making sure, obviously, if this is the transfer of ownership, that's been taken care of properly. And then lastly, we have title insurance that we require as a lender. Very common to say, okay, hey, at the time of closing, if title ensures that they cleared it, verified the liens were good, everything was taken care of, we want to know that, hey, randomly in 6 months or a year down the road, something's not going to pop up. Now, it doesn't mean a new lien couldn't get filed, but things from the past, that title insurance, the mindset is, hey, as of, say, today, January 2025, this transaction closed, title verified, all liens and issues prior have been satisfied. So if something pops up down the road from prior to this date, that's where that title insurance would kick in for you. So lots of ways to vet this, protect you guys. But I think two kind of vital parts that don't get talked about a lot around the mortgage process, because most is done on your behalf. But I do think a lot of clients don't even really look at these. So would love to see if you're going through it, obviously reach out with questions, but take a few minutes, look at this. It's not just paperwork, guys. These are to protect you as the owner of this home. Of course, it's a major asset. It's going to grow over time. You definitely want to make sure there's no concerns or issues. So thanks for the time, guys. Take care and always reach out with questions.